Guild have been incredibly passive in the majority of their holds, forcing G2 into these slow round plays. And once again, they'll just be waiting to see if there is going to be any aggression.
And there might be. bonkar coming around that wall, trying to maybe catch an angle as he pulled his smoke back, maybe trick them into thinking that it was going to be online for a bit, getting out of position, giving him the frag, but no. Nothing happens for him, except for clearing out the majority of A mid. Replaces Star as well as that extra bit of security. Players spotted outside the B site. And they're spotted outside A as well. So at this point for G2, it felt like they were looking for a late lurk. Now that isn't really an option with the information swinging towards Guild. So they have to come together and try to make this push happen. But Guild have got the read. They're rotating around. Even still, though, they've lost Sayf. They've spotted Leo towards the back of the site. G2 are in a really good position, but out of absolutely nowhere, Leo pulls up a triple kill, and this is looking like the round might be done and dusted. 10 seconds left for koldamenta to attempt the push on the site, but he's not going to even go for it. Just the operator pulled up, and he'll be out of there.
It's not quite the retake if they didn't take it in the first place.
That is the point, isn't it? Yeah, you don't even get the side.
Oh, God. I have to say, there's been a few things about this defensive side from Guild that I've absolutely loved, and I almost feel like it's like anti-Guild. Like what we've come to love of like, oh, you
defensive side for G2 sees them give up a lot of control over B. And at this point, yeah, you pretty much have to play retake. koldamenta is not going to be overcommitting to that. So a free plan for Guild. Where are they going with it, though? They are running it down towards A right now.
This is the thing with B-site plants. You have to have some extra control. Otherwise, this really doesn't work out too well. They're hunting down mixwell to try and control a link, and that's exactly what they've done. Now the remainder of the defense has to come in from other angles, and this is going to make things a hell of a lot more difficult for G2.
Yeah, oh, nice shot by nukkye. The hot hands in towards the window. They'll close the distance now and look to take the fight to them, but a spray through the smoke gives Sayf the first kill. That flash perfectly timed, really, for the opponents as it goes on through as the smoke fades up close. AvovA won't get anything done, and it is Guild with the pistol.
I feel like from what we've seen so far from mixwell on Cypher, it doesn't really look like it works for him.
Yeah, earlier on I saw mixwell put a couple of trapwires even that were at like head height or like a little bit above. I think he could have snuck under them. The comfort level, I am surprised because he's played quite a bit of Cypher, but definitely didn't look too good earlier on. And for Guild with this plant, you expect it to be a relatively clean round. G2 will try to waterfall on them, catch a little bit of a flank there by nukkye, but it ain't gonna work. And all this dive out of heaven. It's a desperate attempt to get something, and they do get quite a lot done, actually. 2 kills under their belt, and these players are incredibly low. So obviously they won't get much done afterwards, but hey, 2 kills was all right, and
we know how good he could be on, for example, a race.
Oh, that's not nice for mixwell. He is being pursued right now on this full by the weaker weapons are already up close, and that nade is so perfect. Yacine mowing them down. A second nade online already. nukkye wondering how the hell is just getting bombarded like that. G2 have given up control of the site and pretty much of the round as well, because it's a 2v5, and short of a god to look. Oh, the shock dart almost gets him, barely avoiding it. Man, this is a fast round out of Guild, and they should have this locked down. There's no way G2 even attempt this retake.
Yeah, again, we sort of make these jokes about ACS frags for bonkar, but his paranoia in this round won them the round.
Yes,
like, he completely blinded 2 players at the back. I think he even got an assist on the 3rd player trying to rotate in as well. And it is just how he almost plays off of someone like Yacine, because that's the thing. You know, if you put Yacine in the position to run into a site and find some kills, Yacine will run into the site and he will find some kills. But that is the thing for Guild at the moment. They are doing an yeah, luckily the 2 rifles are in the hands of players that we know can dominate rounds. The amount of times that I've seen something come out of the likes of AvovA on this map, well, I don't have enough fingers to count. keloqz, he will start things off strong, and all honesty, a trade with just a pistol, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, definitely not. That 1-for-1 is worthwhile, especially when he's on that low econ. Shame the Blade Storm couldn't be used up there. But I'll have it for the next round at least. Although I don't think they'll be needing it monetarily. Might give him the opening to take an operator. We'll see how the financial situation sits. As I said, for Guild, this is basically a bonus because they haven't invested into these rifles. They've picked them up off the corpses of their opponents, and then you have a few Spectres to play with. The first, obviously, being on Draken, who lost that initial duel, but it's traded out, so it's all good. This is a nasty position by koldamenta, but it's not one that I expect them to leave unchecked.
30
And
seconds left.
to be honest, it looked like he headshot him there, but I think a little bit late on the left click, brother.
Yeah, if he right-clicked, then he definitely...
Well, then he's really in trouble, yeah.
Or he has some weird binds that I just don't want to talk about. Now, there is a very real scenario where they just opt to actually just save these two rifles once again. It wouldn't be ideal, but again, if you have a couple of players still yet to upgrade on the other side, or for example, Sayf, you're basically just giving them even more weaponry than they already had. Bonkar just going to be holding this angle. Pop flashes again, like the delaying of Guild has been phenomenal, and well, nukkye, he's just being held back, but he still manages to get 2 kills. This was looking over, and now AvovA's coming in on the flank as well, leaving this down to just one man, and somehow they make this retake work.
The defuse coming through, and they even have time to swap it over onto AvovA because nukkye has that ultimate online. keloqz, and it has been pulled out. Oh, nukkye, he's already in the window. He's pushing them all the way down, but Leo was ready for that kind of play. This is something we've seen from G2 before, wanting to actively take control over middle, and I like that Guild are reading into it. They're letting G2 play their own game and setting up to counter what that might be in the early rounds. With 1 minute 8 seconds on the clock, G2 have a man disadvantage, and they'll try to make up for that with an aggressive push coming out of keloqz.
This could end up as a domino effect, though. With this push coming through, there's still players waiting. It will come down to the timing of it, and actually just about gets away with the pop of a cage. 50 seconds left as they look to reset. Now, this deep control does allow for somewhat of a freebie, but in fact, it looks like koldamenta's still watching it. Do they think that bonkar actually continued his push through? Because where they're watching is interesting.
Well, there could be another player already in short as well, right?
True.
Lurking around there. I think that's the main concern for them right now. Hunter's Fury is activated. Okay, it's looking for a couple of tags in here. A little bit of team damage on that one as well. Bonkar, the teleport on the back site. Paranoia to cover in, make sure they don't reaggress, and allow that plan to go down safely with a man advantage to play with Guild. Definitely have things going their way. I'm surprised here Draken started to push up and get a little bit more aggressive, but you know, he'll fall back to the site, playing on top of the box instead. His position spotted, he'll fall down, and okay. I really didn't expect Sayf to reposition. He's in a really rough spot now. They are spraying him away. Luckily, though, he's dodging all the damage to start with, and not to end with. Mixwell in for the first. A low HP Sayf on backside. Shouldn't really be lasting all too much longer, and there he's dropped again. Bonkar, he gets them lighting up through the smoke. Easy peasy. With the traditional recons, they can still make it past. This time, it's very, very difficult to catch that timing to correctly crossover. A lot of players spotted now. A lot of noise heard. The jump up on top, not expected. keloqz catching them off guard, peppering Yacine, and making that Hunter's Fury that much more deadly. With a tag onto Leo and Sayf low as well. This is a great start for G2, but he gets caught in the open. Still good for a kill, and a quick trade by koldamenta as now a 2v4 presents itself. But Bonkar, he's been huge on this map so far. He's fired up, I'll tell you that. I wouldn't count him out.
Yeah, Draken trying to lurk, but his position has been given up by the alarm bot, and mixwell's almost just playing off of his turret. To find the battle here will definitely not be easy, but it is an isolated duel. If they can get rid of him, maybe there's a chance for them in this round, and while Draken is going to isolate it, but yeah, distracted by the turret, leaves Bonkar alone. Now, a 1 versus 4, unlikely, but if he can make this one costly, G2, they don't necessarily have the bank available to them to buy up everything that they would have missing. And then an after plant, maybe he can get something done.
Maybe. A little smoke down for a spawn plant. Who's that? Okay, that's AvovA. He's not going to be going in by himself. Trying to get anything done, you got to wait for the rest of the team to make their way on over. Looks like a little lineup coming out of koldamenta right now. There it is. Oh, well. Not quite the right one, unfortunately. Paranoia ready, prime, Bonkar. Not going to get it done. Even blinded up, nukkye's able to hit that shot, the pre-fire, and the run around the corner. G2 pick up a second round. But I have to say, there's a lot of work still to be done. This is the first time we've seen G2 actually out onto Sayf this time. And now keloqz is rotated in, that Vandal. ready to take the duel. He's crossed over sides. They've heard him. They know he's up close. Yacine is just hunting him down. Great flash as well. Completely blinding him up. Mixwell grabs Yacine in the end, but that trade is not worthwhile. They have a man disadvantage now on the defense, and everyone is on A. At least everyone from G2 is, because Guild have gone the other way. They are going to get a C plant here as easy as can be, and they have such advanced positioning at this point. They've cleared out everything. They know there's no one in garage. They know they've got spawn locked down, and draken's going to try to be the thorn in the side, catching the rotates.
At this point, if you're G2, you've almost got to start wondering if somehow they can see your screens. It's so perfect in the way that they're pushing and pulling their opponents. We have to remember what? Okay, maybe someone else can see some screens. That was ridiculous. But even after the spam, they don't check it properly. Mixwell still able to get the trade. There's at least a little bit of hope, but the time is ticking down. They need to find something, and they need to get it quickly, and nukkye just isn't able to do anything here. They have to try and fall off, and it's going to be a 7th round for Guild.
One that they pulled through, but Guild will late play into C after that. Now they know there's players inside a garage. You start to question, well, hold on, are they actually going to go back towards the C side? There's presence being made on A as well. Guild are spreading out in a default, even this late into the round, and looking for the late flank from draken. Heavy pressure on this C site.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay, because he forgot to cancel it before, so I was a little bit worried.
They've tried to bait them in, but the fact is, it's going to come down to this 1 versus 1. If Draken gets this kill, it could be over, but keloqz instead. Now with 20 seconds left, they need to clear this man, and we're seeing him step up once again, turning it into 15 seconds for this site to be cleared. The paranoia is strong, but koldamenta lands the shot. Leo and Yacine trying to turn it back, and Yacine has brought it into a possible position, but he has to go for the plant, and it just isn't happening. The kill may come through, but AvovA is far enough away. Again, it comes down to
on this lineup for how long now? And I think it's very easy to sit back and go, haha, bad player, no kill. That's not what it's about. There's a reason this dude's still here, and there's a reason that his teammates are happy to play with a nice shot out of Yacine. Koldamenta taken out immediately by that showstopper. And as well as that, there is a vacuum of information on this A site now. Short could be completely overrun, but in fact, it's just Yacine. Again, Guild are leaving the back door open for them to rotate towards the other side of the map in the late round. Even though that didn't find success in the previous round, they're happy to run it back again.
Well. There's nobody just sitting still for Guild. Like, each time there's somebody making a play, there is another play going on in the background that you don't even witness half of the time. They're now starting to drone through C. They've also put the Tiger forward, and it's so perfect. keloqz has got to be so confused at this stage. They're catching every single player as they look to push. This default couldn't be any better, and they'll even get the final frag on Yacine. He played a little bit of a peekaboo. Shock dart expended to try and slow them down. They've got 3 players on this side, and Yacine is already pushing all the way through into the corner. He's got a couple of teammates to support him, but keloqz has landed the shot, leaving bonkar as the solo defender. The flash over the top will leave keloqz slightly blind, but the shots just can't be connected this time by bonkar. And it's aggressive, but he will survive for now.
Spike planted.
A lot of low HP players on this. Gets me a little bit scared as Sayf comes around the corner. He spotted 2. The late play by draken now spotted. He won't be able to catch them off guard. Seems tough, you know, these guys are easily able to group up and just take 2v1 fights. Has to be a big whiff for them to give this one away. In fact, they're going to fully group up and just look to use the whole team against Sayf. Astra Star after Astra Star going down. Smokes everywhere. Here's the flash, the push through after, but they're ready. keloqz just 180ing to take him down. And for draken, I mean, they've already damaged up a lot of these players anyway, so exits don't really matter that much, and you're playing for a neural theft.
Headshot.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say a neural theft sucks, actually, Tom.
You're talking smack.
Really well on this map. So G2 looking for the A site up against Classics. Should be nice and clean. This isn't a round that's going to be comment worthy, at least you'd imagine. Nice little shock dart. Let's see if they can get 2 kills out of this. With Mixwell playing on a frenzy as well, I think it gives them even more room to play more aggressive and give stuff away if they wanted to over on G2. But considering that they were 9-3 down, and coming out of this even 9-5, provided they win the round, you don't really want to give anything away. And the same for Guild. These guys are playing exits right now. Yacine's going to have to force a fight in the late round, but the other players can just jump into the spike, and that is probably the best way to go.
Yep. The main goal is to just remove as many weapons as possible. Make it nice and costly. Don't feed keloqz too much, which they are a little bit. Handing over the Blade Storm, so I don't think he's going to mind about this one at all. And yeah, the remaining players just going to die to the spike. 9-5. G2, a lot of it revolved around trying to gather up as much information as possible and then playing off the rotates. Now, the combination of Sova, the Sky, and of course the Cypher gives them that ability to find information while playing so passively. And for G2, you can see they're weighing in the default. They're expecting something here, but as of right now, not much of a move.
No, from Guild, we talked about it before in just the previous series. Like, these guys, they'll... 10 HP remaining. Mixwell lucky to get out of that one alive. I'm just gonna talk about Guild and how they don't push typically, and then that happens.
No.
Good kill by bonkar, shutting down keloqz, smoke down on long. Does he still have paranoia on? He does still have paranoia as well. And that's going to be very scary now as this util comes through. The paranoia popped. That's going to basically burn down their flash, but also negate the gravitational well. Yacine on top. Good to trade out for 2. Mixwell's 10 HP, don't forget. That leaves it pretty much all down to AvovA to get this one done.
At least this time there aren't going to be any shock darts available to them to try and deny this plant. But already being picked apart. Solid retake from Guild. 3 players surviving versus the bonus, especially when there's a Blade Storm. It's really not too bad. And more importantly, they're into double digits with the ones.
All right, Tom, listen. We got to let that one die. He doesn't get a kill when they push the site. He dies, but he still brings value. That's not an ideal dash. That's a Yacine dash right there.
Yeah, but Yacine normally gets the kill and then does it. It's not quite as valuable if you just run it and die.
Not ideal.
It's also meant that they fought for that control initially, and now they can already rotate off. Now, the timing could work out for G2, but you can see that rotation coming through. And draken's actually dropped the only player on long, so this becomes almost a one-pronged push. AvovA does at least manage to take one with him, but the spike has gone down off the back of the showstopper.
And AvovA's super low now as well. Gonna be in a tough spot. That was nukkye with a good opportunity. You know, if he gets the plant there, still has his flashes, he can start fighting for some control. Instead, it's gonna be dry peaks. And difficult duels for them all the way through. The recon not gonna reveal anything for them, but koldamenta blind fires into Yacine. Now a 2v2 and a winnable round out of absolutely nowhere. koldamenta will eat a little bit of a shock dart. He actually avoided it, never mind. Didn't take a lick of damage off that one. And with AvovA 50 HP, they're looking to still have him alive at this stage as well. Guild are having to pry their way back in towards this side, and they haven't got any control, nor do they have any information to play with. koldamenta tucked in the corner, and his teammates able to swing right after. He's not needed, though. And no shields, yeah.
So he could be dead very quickly, but that might be the most Yacine thing I've ever seen. keloqz, this is risky, but he manages to get out of there alive. Maybe not for much longer, taking so much damage on the way out, but he's garnered the control and come out with a kill.
Yeah, and the instant updraft avoided the nano swarm as well. He was about to die to that if he sat in it for just a second longer. Here's the dropout after the flash. bonkar, the one to pick it up with the classic in hand. Now starting to skirt around the edge and try to get more done. But the classic, well, it doesn't matter if you fly.
All equal, because I don't think we've seen anything from the running back so far.
Very true, yeah. Oh, keloqz is in their face, man!
What?
The dash out of this guy, and then he dies with his knife out. Okay, well, that's an interesting turn of events. The run it back coming through yet again, but bonkar is going to deal with it right away. The paranoia, perfect. The smoke down on left side buys him a little bit of space to play around. They have no more flashes, actually, so he can't really make the play outside of that. He's shrouded stepped in the open. I cannot explain that one, Tom. I'm going to go ahead and ignore that and pretend it didn't happen because Sayf is trying to make a play back into this. But now he's lit to 9 HP and dealt with right away. Draken still with the neural theft online, so he could win the round, Tom.
Of course. It's known for its damage dealing.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, 1 versus 3. He has a chance to fight onto nukkye, but he's not going to give him that opportunity. And he's given free roam at this point as a loose cannon to try and open things up because Guild have really been struggling to counter his individual play.
Here's the run it back from nukkye to try and seize the space that they've been lacking so far, and there's the first kill, I think, with a run it back that we've seen. We traded back Yacine fighting for this up close now. The garage seems to be his on lockdown, and Sayf comes through to guarantee it. keloqz, mixwell, the final 2 players remaining, but they don't have the spike. Getting up here for keloqz is going to be tough. Might just about be able to pick it up, but they'll see it. They now know that he's up close. Yacine gonna tuck in the corner because no one sprayed. keloqz thinks that that's just clear, but Yacine was just biding his time, playing it patient. And now they know exactly where the last player is. A boom bot going towards him and nade up close. Now just 60 HP and the whole team is about to rally forward. There you go. Draken to close it. 11 for Guild. G2 still on. There it is. Okay. Now that's destroyed with a minute left. You're resetting the information. You're putting Guild in a position where they cannot gamble stack A as heavily as they want to. And look what that's resulted in. A complete abandonment of the C site.
Yeah, they rotated very heavily into A, and I think this has just come down to a full retake for the side of Guild. And they literally have no ground at all. So it's just going to come down to rotation. bonkar might be able to get the information for them here, and that's exactly what he'll do. So the whole team, just look at them. Instantly, every single one of them begins to move to come in for this retake. A kill is important, though, and nukkye is going to finally find the opener. There's only 20 seconds left, and they might actually just try and deny the plant, at least for now, and that is what they'll do.
The plant's going to come in the end, but it has bought them that extra time. How did nukkye win that fight? A 180 onto a player already spraying him, and it was Sayf at that. He's even conscious of this rotate coming through. The flank by draken does connect. And there's the neural theft activated for what I think is the first time on this map. Coming into the home stretch, Yacine right on through the smoke, quickly dealt with this round as G2's. There's no way the Guild buy their way back into this one, and they're realizing that themselves, now running away to save these weapons through for the next. G2 will hit double digits. And this map keeps on getting closer.
It almost has become a game of chess. Like, it's who's going to make that first move, who's going to then... Like, you walk around the corner, it's like, why have I been tagged by a cam here?
It doesn't serve too much. Obviously, it just means the early round information is going towards them. Push up close. keloqz surely doesn't just run in on this. There's absolutely no way. He's challenging him, and he's already dealt with draken. There's going to be the hundreds. Oh, no, that is a disaster. Yacine somehow, post-showstopper miss, is able to connect a kill. Satchels, shock darts, everything going towards mixwell. Now Leo on the backside needs to hold on, and he's good for a double kill. koldamenta, the last man standing, falls and puts Guild at 12-10. Map and series point. We are one round away from G2 being eliminated from the VCT, and Guild moving on. So far, these guys have been consistently playing within the sites, and they've gone all the way down on C long. They're droning out mid. Draken is finding a kill on early A aggression. He'll make it out of there into the corner as well. And now this is where Yacine can start that flank, where bonkar can rotate around to be there to help the team. Draken will make it out. 10 seconds remaining on that lockdown. Plenty of time to take space, and look at Leo. He's not looking to give this up. He's going to make another play up close. Draken did it earlier inside the lockdown, and he's good for at least the one kill to start things off. The retake needing to be mounted up against 3 opponents. The man advantage is in Guild's favor, but keloqz quickly turns that back into an even fight.
Yeah, they also have the Hunter's Fury ready, but it's not really in a position to be used. It's going to come down to this flank from Yacine. koldamenta still watching AvovA, just sat on the edge, ready to try and swing onto the peak. Yacine not going to win the battle. keloqz still just putting up ridiculous numbers, and the remaining 2, they're just going to have to try and fall out of this one. It is going to be another round. It looks like we're going the distance in this map, and G2 will cling to life.
Tom, I remember a time back when I was on Alliance, I didn't play off, at least.
It's this early bait. G2 have done this a few times where they pull players off of the C site by going heavy into early A. But this time it looks like they are actually going to look to go back in that direction. The Sayf utility will hold down C anyway, as Guild have made the adaptations. mixwell still in this corner. Is Yacine, is he going to overextend?
That's the question, right? Holding up here is just fine. He has to clear the corner as he comes around, and Yacine gets the jump. That's mixwell gone. A player lost. Over on long, what a shot out of keloqz. The jump peak, not quite quick enough. This man is on fire, but so is Leo, shutting him down, and Yacine now in the corner is going to be spotted. They know he's here, but he swings, and that is not expected. Poor AvovA, 1v3 to try and stay alive. G2 will not